What's in the name of a town? Lincoln residents surely know the history of their namesake. It doesn't take much to figure out North Platte's origin, but for decades, Cozad locals didn't know what became of town founder John J. Cozad. That all changed with a newspaper special edition in 1956.
I think it was probably stunning to hear this news. I mean, nobody knew what had happened for 75 years. I mean, they just disappeared.
John Cozad fled the town he founded after fatally shooting a rancher in self-defense in 1882. His wife and two sons followed soon after, and they all changed their names. One of the sons, Robert Henry Cozad, became Robert Henry, a world-renowned painter and teacher. Whoa.
All of a sudden, it was like, this is not only just an interesting guy and an important, he's a world-famous artist. And the brother turned out to be a very important doctor in Philadelphia.
Nobody in Cozad is forgetting this history today, thanks to the Robert Henry Museum and Gallery. The downtown building is where the Cozads lived while operating a hotel. President of the museum's board of directors, Marlene Geiger, says Robert Henry got his creative start in Cozad.
He had a little printing room in this building because he made up a little newspaper and he called it the Runty Press. And so he had already started early in his life right here in Cozad with his art and with writing.
Now, Geiger says the town's residents are the ones getting their creative starts.
It's really brought the town recently into being an art community, and that is what we're striving for right now.
The city displays art palettes created by local artists around the community, and the city supports two art clubs. Cozad's art center is the Henry Gallery, which is the largest display of Henry's work in the world. Executive Director Peter Osborne says it's unusual for a small-town gallery to have such an important collection.
Here in the middle of Cozad, to have the largest collection of his works. If you were at the Met in New York, you'd say, well, of course that figures, you know, or the Sheldon at Lincoln or wherever. But to have it here in Cozad is pretty remarkable.
Henry was the father figure of the Ashcan School art movement and was named one of the top 3 American artists in history at the time of his death. His influence might be best felt as a teacher for dozens of prominent artists, one of which compiled his notes into the most popular art textbook in the country. Osborne says Henry's stature attracts visitors from across the nation.
They were not in the room for 30 seconds, and they said, we got to go. We just didn't believe that there were Robert Henry paintings here in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska. And I think that story is probably could be repeated 100 times, you know.
The gallery is recently refurbished and held a ribbon cutting on December 6th. In Cozad, Michael Shively, News Channel, Nebraska.